Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to this explainer, where we take fascinating pieces of research, crack them open, and really look at the big picture together. Today we are digging into a massive, dramatic historical mystery. Honestly, it is arguably the greatest cold case in human history. We're talking about humanity's lost collective memory, the absolutely legendary missing scrolls of Alexandria. We're going to explore how the greatest gathering of human intelligence simply vanished into thin air, and the intense, almost unbelievable methods ancient people actually used to hunt that knowledge down in the first place.
Now, to really wrap your head around the gravity of this cold case, I want you to ask yourself a quick question. Where would you go to find everything? Without Google, without Wikipedia, or without YouTube? Seriously, imagine being completely stripped of every single modern digital safety net you have. If you have a question today, you know the drill. You just pull out your phone. But I want you to mentally thrust yourself into an ancient void of information. No search bars, literally zero instant answers. If you suddenly needed to know how the stars moved, or how to heal a strange sickness, or even just what lands lay beyond the ocean, where on earth would you go?
Look, we live in a reality of infinite, instant digital knowledge. It's basically weightless, it's backed up in the cloud, and for the most part, it's indestructible. But the ancient world, they relied on something entirely different, a dusty, fragile, completely physical scroll. In the ancient world, knowledge wasn't just finite, it was incredibly hard to find. It was something you could actually hold in your two hands. And because of that, it meant it was something you could lose, something that could easily be destroyed, and most importantly for our story, it was something that could be hoarded.
Section 1. The Impossible Ancient Quest. Egypt, 300 BC. Okay, picture this. We are transporting ourselves 2,300 years back in time, landing right in the grand, bustling port city of Alexandria, Egypt. It was right here that humanity decided to embark on a grand objective that, honestly, by today's standards, sounds completely insane. Their goal? To literally collect every single book in the world. Just let the breathtaking scale of that sink in for a second. They didn't just want a good library, they wanted the library. The Library of Alexandria was tasked with a nearly impossible ambition: to gather every single piece of written human knowledge into one single physical location. But how do you actually do that in a world without printing presses or the internet? How do you amass the entire world's collective memory?
Well, that brings us to Section 2, hunting ships for missing scrolls. See, you don't just politely ask for donations to build a library like this. No, you have to hunt for them. And this is where our story turns into a high-stakes procedural. Alexandria actually turned its harbor into a massive checkpoint. Think of it as the ancient equivalent of copy and paste, but with a lot more muscle. Let's walk through it. Step 1. If your ship docked in the harbor of Alexandria, armed guards immediately boarded and searched it. But here's the crazy part. They weren't looking for hidden gold or smuggled spices. They were exclusively hunting for scrolls. Step 2. If they found a scroll, highly trained scribes would immediately confiscate the original text. Step 3, these scribes would then sit down and painstakingly copy the entire scroll by hand. And finally, Step 4, they would return the freshly made copy back to the traveler. I mean, talk about a strict return policy. You really have to appreciate the absolute ruthless audacity of this tactic. You sail into Alexandria with a priceless original manuscript, and the port authorities essentially look at you and say, "Thank you very much, we are keeping the original for the library, but hey, here is a lovely handwritten replica for your troubles." It was literally a state-sponsored intellectual hoarding operation. The harbor checkpoints were strictly, systematically designed to hunt down knowledge and trap it within the city walls.
Section 3. Secrets hidden in the texts.
So why go through all this incredible trouble to search ships for old papyrus? Because of what was hidden inside them. The staggering value of what was contained within those confiscated scrolls really cannot be overstated. By gathering all these diverse texts from travelers all over the known world, the library became this massive intellectual pressure cooker. Researchers inside those walls made mind-blowing ancient discoveries. I mean, they figured out that the Earth was round, and they mapped exactly how the human heart worked. Think about what was truly at stake in these texts. Brilliant minds were drawing maps of the stars and anatomical drawings of our own bodies, figuring out fundamental facts centuries, actually, scratch that, in some cases, literally millennia, before modern science had to officially rediscover them. All of that brilliant compounding knowledge held securely in one single place.
Section 4. History's greatest unsolved disappearance.
So you have the greatest collection of original works forcibly gathered from every ship that entered the harbor, sparking this absolute golden age of scientific discovery. And then it just disappeared. We are left with a sudden, deeply tragic climax to this golden age, a massive void where all of those original insights used to be. 500,000, over 500,000 scrolls completely vanished. Let that number sink in. This wasn't just a building that was lost. This was the world's collective memory. 500,000 manuscripts representing the scientific, cultural, and historical heritage of countless civilizations, all gathered through that intense harbor search process, just gone. It is a staggering, almost incomprehensible loss of data. But how did it actually happen? Well, that's exactly why it's a cold case. Were they burned to ash, or did they just crumble to dust? The exact fate of the library remains an unsolved mystery to this very day. Some historians say it was consumed by a massive, dramatic fire that burned all 500,000 scrolls to ash. Others argue a quieter and perhaps sadder theory, that it simply declined over time, neglected and abandoned until the fragile papyrus literally just crumbled to dust. Whichever theory is true, the physical outcome is exactly the same. The great ancient database was completely wiped clean.
So what do we take away from all this? Well, obviously we see the tragic, fragile nature of physical information before our digital era. But more importantly, I think we see humanity's enduring, totally unquenchable hunger for knowledge. The physical treasure of Alexandria is gone, yes, but that exact same drive that caused ancient guards to search ships for books instead of gold, that is the exact same drive that makes us build giant server farms, online encyclopedias, and explainers today. The quest to understand our world never actually stopped.
And that brings us to our final thought. We may have lost those 500,000 scrolls, but that deep hunger for knowledge is still right here with us. So what will you discover today? I really hope this explainer sparked your curiosity about the incredible lengths humans will go to for information. Keep questioning, keep learning, and make sure to hit follow for more ancient stories in our future explainers. Thanks so much for diving into this cold case with me.